Welcome back to Jump In Travels, guys. I'm rowing a boat in one of Italy's most beautiful lakes. So stick around and see what the Dolomites have to offer.
We started our trip in Lagazuoi near Cortina d'Ampezzo. This is a large mountain area that was part of fighting and defense during World War I and is now considered an open-air museum. You can get to this area generally by car, but you'll have to park at the lot and then take a cable car to get to the top. You can buy the cable car ticket online or in person at the gate, and it costs about 17 euros each. I honestly wasn't expecting how steep and high the elevation was, but the ride on the cable car was smooth and steady. Once you get to the top, you arrive at that refugio hut that offers food and drinks, so of course we had to try their pasta. We also had some amazing panoramic views of the mountains from here. The cool thing here is that you can walk inside the fortified tunnels and trenches that were part of World War I, since they were restored for visitors. It feels like walking into a glimpse of the past, literally.
Hey Tony, pass me a cigarette, why don't you? Yeah, you never have, huh? Hold up. Hey Tony, there's a battalion coming. On the west. On the men!
We then drove by Passo Giau, which is a high mountain pass within the Dolomites that connects two towns with beautiful scenery. We took a pit stop at the Berg Hotel nearby for a bite to eat. The next morning, we had an early long hike planned.
So guys, one of the things that you could do here in the Dolomites is go on this special hike that we're on right now.
It's to Cadini Di Misurina.
Yeah. So this is very anticipated for us since we saw this hike and the viewpoint online, but we have an issue.
Parking situation. There's a lot of them require reservation.
Yep.
We didn't notice that till yesterday. The main parking spot is Auronzo. It's a hotel area and restaurant. You can hike from there to the viewpoint.
Mm-hmm.
However, it was full when we looked yesterday. I realized online they suggest to look at it a couple days in advance to book it. The alternative is to go to another lake nearby. I forgot the name right now.
It just adds a couple more miles of the hike.
Yeah, just a couple more miles, you know.
So we did that.
But that one says it's free of parking from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You guys just have to park across the hotel, not at the hotel. It's private and only for the hotel.
Correct.
And you can take a similar hike from there to the viewpoint. And that's fine.
Bingo.
Hiking the trail this early was pleasantly quiet, and we didn't really spot many people until we got towards the end. We really enjoyed the surroundings going at our own pace.
So guys, we're halfway through the hike, but look at this setting right behind me. Beautiful. Now, quick little tip about this hike. It's about 2.5 miles going and coming, and elevation gain is about 2,000 feet.
When you see a lot of rocks on a steep path, you're generally getting to the viewpoint we ultimately reached. The signs painted on the rocks were a helpful guide too, so you don't get lost. I'm really glad we got to see these amazing views of the Dolomites. The videos really don't do it justice. Once we headed out to the trail, we decided to pass by the actual Lake of Misurina. It's a nice area for walking, eating, and even renting a pedal boat if you like. The following morning, we went to my second favorite lake, Lago Di Landro. It's one of the 3 largest natural lakes that we visited within Valpustoria region of northern Italy. The area is surrounded by mountains and vegetation, and the lake itself is pristine, but it's also a protected area for wildlife. It's honestly a very peaceful stroll even if you only have a few minutes. We then went to Lago Di Dobbiaco a couple minutes away, which is another major lake in the area. It's also easily accessible by car with a small parking fee close to the lake. You'll notice more trees and shade here as it's surrounded by forests and mountains. You can also enjoy a nice stroll here or even rent a pedal boat ride on the lake. Finally, we arrived at our third lake of the area that easily became my favorite, Lago di Braies.
So we finally parked in Lago di Braies and we parked in P2. This was a little bit crazy because we're coming here like at 11:30 and it took us about an hour to actually park. Now mind you, there's also P3 and P4 that is way closer to the lake, so you don't have to walk that much. But it was so packed that obviously we had to park in P2, and that's why we're walking.
Now expect to do a lot of walking in a good way. The main area around the lake is walkable, family friendly, and even dog friendly. It's even nicknamed the Pearl of the Dolomites due to its beauty and popularity among tourists. You can choose to do some hiking trails from here, or you can just enjoy the lake view as there's quite a few places to eat, drink, and shop at. Near the main entrance, you'll notice there's a famous boathouse where you can get scenic views from a rented paddle boat. You can rent a private boat for 45 minutes for only 50 euros. They are typically open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., but be prepared to wait in line because it's quite popular. It's totally worth it, and make sure you get some photos and videos while you're there. The next morning, we visited Passo Gardena.
So there's a place we wanted to visit called the Gardena Pass or Passo Gardena that we thought was accessible by car. It seems that it's not, but we found a lift, a gondola, basically, that takes us all the way up there, and they actually use this for both snowboard ski season and for the summer for bike trails and hiking, and here we can see great views from up there, so we're excited for that.
The views from up here are amazing and the weather was perfect. We saw several people come with their family and pets to walk around the area. The others that came just to eat along the mountains at the Danterserpi's Mountain Lounge. With the same lift passes, we took advantage and visited the mountains of Seceda. This area can get really crowded as it's a very popular destination in both summer and winter. It can get really hot during this time of year, but it's worth visiting even if you only want to come cool off with drinks. Later in the afternoon, we visited the area of Vallunga. This is a stunning valley located in a natural park with several roaming animals in a gated perimeter. There's parking available for a small fee, and there's a cafe of sorts to eat as well. You are free to hike the trails nearby or just visit the cows like we did.
Look at all these chickens!
Our final destination was Lago Di Molveno. This lake is located on the western part of the Dolomites by the Trentino province, about 2 hours southwest of the area we were at previously. It's a beautiful lake that's often described as a small paradise and offers activities like boat rentals and water sports. You'll notice several families and kids in the playgrounds or just laying out in the swimsuits near the water or under the shade. We ate at a nearby restaurant named Pizzico and finished a whole pie while sitting outside. The following day, we woke up with this beautiful view of the town and anticipation of our next adventure.
So here in Molveno, you could rent out boats, you could do a little kayak tour around the lake, or you could just sit down by the park. And if you see my videos beforehand, you do know I like a little bit of adrenaline in my travel. So today we're gonna go paragliding.
We booked our tour in advance with iFly Tandem. It was about 175 euros each. Once we met with the instructors, they drove us to a lift entrance where we took several cable cars to reach the top of the designated mountain. They set up and analyzed the wind to determine the right time for us to jump, and then we were cruising in the sky. The wind can really pick you up high, but you'll get a real aerial view of the mountains surrounding Molveno and its lake. And if you're up for it, you can ask for some fun turns and spins prior to landing. So if you like watching our videos and want to see more, like and subscribe below to join us on our next adventure. Thanks for tuning in, and jump in with me next time on Jump In Travels.